Welcome to this episode of Estate Planning Secrets Revealed. This is attorney Tony Bell, and we are in episode 4 of our mini-series helping those who are in the construction field or working at the ports. In this episode, we're going to look at insurance and how does it fit into your estate plan. Now, I'm not an insurance broker. I don't sell insurance. However, I do recognize the importance of talking about this because so many times we just let things go and slide by until they're too late. And I have seen people that were the hardest workers in the construction field, they got hurt and it debilitated them. And from that moment forward, the trajectory of their entire lives changed, as did their family. And their families suffered because there was not appropriate insurance in place. So, what is important for you to have as someone working in the construction field or working at the ports? You need to ensure and check your health and disability insurance. If you are working for someone else, you have an employer that you're working for, and say you get insurance, that's great. However, look into the policy and see exactly what is covered, what is not covered, how much is covered, and you need to know this ahead of time. Because remember, in the earlier episodes, we talked about 75% of people in the construction field get injured. You need to know ahead of time before it's too late. I'll share a quick story why. I've never been in the construction industry. However, at one point I needed a surgery. It was for health reasons. My insurance at my job, and this was a great job that I had, and I won't say which employer it was, but I had a wonderful job that many people tried to have, and I got the job. And supposedly my insurance was wonderful. However, I didn't do what I'm telling you to do right now. They told me that any surgeries are covered. If there's a medical necessity, it's covered. And I just believed them. I didn't look at the 300-page insurance manual or guide to see that when they say that they were covering a surgery, that they only meant they were covering 40% of the surgery. I didn't know that, and nobody from the insurance told me either when I was getting pre-approved for my surgery. So I had my surgery, and then about a month after I had the surgery, I started getting doctor's bills and hospital bills left and right to the tune of over $100,000 that I had a responsibility for, because the insurance, they covered it, but their covering it was covering 40%. They never said anything further. So I'm telling you this because since there's such a high likelihood that at some point you may get injured, you may need to have a surgery, who knows? You need to know ahead of time what your insurance does cover, how much it covers, what does it cover, so that you can start to look at supplemental plans to help you to be able to be prepared, and so that your family is prepared ahead of time. This is part of a good estate plan. Proper preparation. It's imperative. And so you need to, if you have insurance, talk to your insurance providers. Ask to look at the guidelines of what they'll cover, what they won't cover. And then, for example, if you are an independent contractor, you are responsible to get your own insurance. A lot of times people who are in the construction industry, you're just trying to get by, right? So you may be an independent contractor and maybe you haven't purchased insurance. take the time, make the investment. You have to do it, because if you get injured, you need the insurance to help you. Also, when you have insurance, whether it's through a company or it's something that you're purchasing on your own, make sure that you are taking the time periodically to review the policy. So important. Now, when you're trying to get insurance or supplemental insurance, there's a few considerations that you need to think about. First of all, no matter what, you need to make sure that you involve an insurance broker. They can help you better than most anyone else. Because in your industry, there are specific nuances that are involved with different types of coverage. And those nuances many times will depend upon your individual role in construction. For example, if you are a roofer, because there's a high potential for falls and injuries of that nature, roofing is considered a high-risk trade. And they say that many times it will lead to costly claims with insurance carriers. So something that you need to know is it may be a little more difficult for you to find affordable insurance. So you may have to turn to some surplus line carriers, and they may charge higher premiums. But you can't cut out your insurance. You need it. And at the same time, make sure that you stay strictly safe in your profession. If you are a carpenter, carpenters' insurance needs can vary. A little bit different than just roofers. You work in many different environments. And so because of that, some insurance carriers may require or may provide more comprehensive policies for you due to you having to work at higher altitudes or in hazardous conditions. So, it's really important to work with your insurance broker on these types of things. So I just want to put that out there in this episode because it's something that a lot of times is overlooked. Just like the entire estate plan is overlooked a lot of times, but it is so crucial. So this has been Attorney Tony Bell, Estate Planning Secrets Revealed. Come back in the next episode and we're going to discuss a little bit more about the needs of construction workers and people who work at the port, because you have unique jobs and unique needs. I'll see you then.